Good day, here are the stories for the Manila Times for Thursday, August 19, 2021. The government will ensure the vaccination of all adult Filipinos population against COVID-19. Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. assured the public on Wednesday amid claims of its supposed inaction on tripartite agreements to procure the vaccines. Galvez, who is also the chief implementer of the National Task Force against COVID-19, gave the assurance after Senate Majority Leader Juan Miguel Zubiri sought to look into the hanging request for vaccine procurement of 42 local government units or LGUs and about 300 private companies. On today's special report, the COVID-19 pandemic is the defining health and socio-economic crisis of our time. Its effects expected to linger for years to come, but just like other health crises, the outbreak has a silver lining in the shape of opportunities to craft a more sustainable and resilient future for the Philippines, a legislator declared. The government needs not to just address the country's immediate needs, but also implement reforms that will contribute to more inclusive, fairer, sustainable, and resilient growth, Albay Representative Jose Clemente Joey Salcedo told the Manila Times. Movie outfit Filmmaking Productions on Wednesday confirmed that actor Arjo Ataide and 9 others tested positive for COVID-19 on Sunday while shooting a movie in Baguio City. City Mayor Benjamin Magalong ordered an investigation on possible violations of health protocols, saying the group was given a permit to stay in the city to shoot a movie with the commitment that they will be staying in a bubble, meaning no one should be going in and out of the city during the duration of the shooting. The group has been in Baguio City since July. Magalong alleged that the bubble policy was not followed and the group failed to comply with their commitment to undergo regular reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction tests. Former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. appealed to the government to ease the restrictions on churches and other places of worship during the lockdown. He urged the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases, or IATF-EID, to allow vaccinated people to observe their faith even during the Enhanced Community Quarantine Period, or ECQ. He made the appeal following his conversations with leaders of various churches who lamented the lack of government's consultation with them before closing down their places of worship. Marcos said the government should consider that Filipinos are devoted to their faith and it would contribute to their mental well-being and uplift their spirits when they can go inside the church to hear Mass or pray. He said vaccinated individuals should be allowed to go to churches, chapels, or mosques to pray or worship. More and more people have been drawn to indoor gardening and have become plant parents as it gave them a respite from the pandemic. Graham KUWTT, first vice president and head of Mega World Lifestyle Malls, has been gardening for 30 years. At the Manila Times Lifestyle Forum, Fantastic Sustainable Gardening for Home and Business, he described himself as a keen amateur gardener. His love for gardening inspired Mega World Lifestyle Malls to put together a new concept which they believe will tap on the demand of gardening. Recently launched in July is Greenhouse at Village Square, Alabang, the first plant sanctuary mall in the Philippines, specially dedicated to plant lovers and gardening enthusiasts. It houses a wide selection of plants, gardening tools, supplies, and accessories. The Department of Health, or DOH, revisiting its previous recommendation, urged the public to wear medical-grade face masks instead of cloth masks for increased protection against the more contagious Delta strain of COVID-19. According to Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere, an ordinary cloth mask is not medical grade. Vergere said the latest mask advisory was based on the clinical practice guidelines of the Philippine Society of Microbiology and Infectious Diseases, which said that use of medical-grade surgical masks is a precautionary measure in preventing the spread of infection. She explained that medical-grade masks prevent the entrance of droplets in the nose and mouth through filters, something that cloth masks lack. Former Defense Secretary Gilbert Gibot Teodoro Jr. on Tuesday said he was satisfied with the way the Department of Defense and diplomatic establishments handled the West Philippine Sea or WPS issue, which he claimed should be addressed with expertise and depth. Speaking with Times editors and reporters in a virtual roundtable discussion on Tuesday, Teodoro said he is satisfied with the way the defense and diplomatic establishments are handling the matter. He said the WPS issue should be handled with one goal in mind, and that is securing the best interest of the Philippines. To accommodate more children who tested positive for COVID-19, the Quezon City government added more beds as well as family rooms in 11 Hope community care facilities. The city is also recruiting more staff in anticipation of the opening of 3 more Hope facilities. Dr. Esperanza Arias, head of the City Health Department or CHD, said on Wednesday. She said additional beds, oxygen tanks, and medicines were procured for all 11 of the city's COVID facilities. The family rooms are being added to accommodate more COVID-positive children, as well as their families who may also be COVID-19 positive or their guardians who will look after them, Arias said. Topping business, the country's economic managers expect slower Philippine economic growth this year because of the reimposition of tighter movement restrictions in various areas of the country to effectively address the heightened hazards brought about by the COVID-19 Delta variant. The Interagency Development Budget Coordination Committee or DBCC announced in a statement on Wednesday that it had reduced its gross domestic product or GDP growth assumption for 2021 from 6 to 7% to 4 to 5%. It said that with the GDP growth of 11.8% in the second quarter of 2021, the original growth target of 6.0 to 7.0% would have been achievable since the current rise in COVID-19 cases. In sports, Philippine Olympic Committee or POC President and Cavite 8th District Representative Abraham Bambol Tolentino turned over the promised house and lot unit and a brand new car to 2020 Tokyo Olympic gold medalist Heidelin Diaz in a ceremony held at Windridge Hotel Tagaytay on Wednesday. A house and lot in Tagaytay City was also promised to each of the 3 other Filipino Olympic medalists. Tolentino, together with his wife, Tagaytay City Mayor Agnes Tolentino, turned over the 2-story house and lot and a photo card to Diaz after the Thanksgiving Mass held at Lourdes Church. Diaz's 5 million pesos, 220 square meter, 3-bedroom house is located at Barangay Caybagal in Tagaytay City. The POC chief also led the groundbreaking for the construction of house units to silver medalists Nesty Petesio and Carlo Paalam and bronze medalist Yumir Marshall. The lots are located in Barangay San Jose in Tagaytay. The 2-bedroom units, worth close to 5 million pesos, each began construction on Wednesday and is targeted to be finished by December. Antonio Contreras, Yen Macabenta, and Representative Edsel Lagman are today's front-page columnists. Contreras talks about a controversial ad by the Bello Group. Macabenta believes that people should prepare to live with COVID-19, and Lagman discusses on how people can help Vice President Maria Leonor Leni Robredo. Today's editorial discusses President Rodrigo Duterte's tirade against the Commission on Audit. Read a full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the Voice of the Times. For more news and information, read the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and keep up with the Times. This is Christian Crow Maghanoy reporting.